Calliope, not calliope. Calliope is the circus pronunciation for the instrument. So let's all try to say it like a circus person. Calliope.
Calliope.
Good, you sound like circus people. Now, steam calliopes were invented in the 1850s by a Mr. Stoddard. Super duper loud. You can hear a steamer 5 miles away. That's why it became known as the Pied Piper of the circus. It was guaranteed to draw a crowd whenever it was played. In 1908, Joseph Worry came up with this, the air calliope, using air pressure, not steam. It's plenty loud, but nowhere near as loud as a big steam callie. This particular one was hand-built by Joseph Worry in 1914 for the Ringling Brothers. It was the world's biggest air calliope at that time, and the first air calliope added to a circus band. This, along with 27 other musicians, is what was used to accompany the acts under the big top of the greatest show on earth. Now, we're doing something a little different with this show. Since we have a 1960s theme for our 60th anniversary, we are doing 60s lounge music for this show. You heard rock and roll in the big top. We're doing the lounge hits. Moon River, Girl from Ipanema, and this one by Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual. There you go. Thank you. I should also let you know that we are going to be watching the time, so we're going to get everybody out of here in plenty of time to make it to the next show. Nothing but nonsense at 1 o'clock. How's that sound? All right, so relax. We don't need to go anywhere quite yet because Mr. Larry Stout is going to play the Hammond. How about that? Woo! Larry is our musical director for 21 years. And the Hammond organ is what replaced the air calliope in the circus band. Let's listen to a 1960s lounge favorite, Call Me. Larry Stout in our Hammond organ. Tuned desk bells. An antique set would have been made out of brass, so quite obviously I ordered these off of Amazon. But they play exactly the same as the antiques, so here we go with Moon River. Brings us to our first really weird instrument. It's called the rattle chimes. Kind of a Gatling gun of an instrument. We're going to do Herb Alpert and Tijuana Brass's Big Head Tijuana Taxi. Did you folks like that? Yeah. Good. You're going to hate this. The musical lyre was made by E.R. Street street of Hartford, Connecticut. Most folks call it the rub chimes because that's how it's played. We rub the chimes. It's a friction harp. You need friction to make the rods ring out, and that's provided by rosin worked into the fingertips of these leather gloves. We're going to do Girl Talk. It's not good, but that's all the better it's ever going to get. So, moving right on, 2 electrical musical instruments. You can imagine what a novelty this was. When people didn't have electricity in their homes, here comes the circus with 2 electrical instruments in their street parade. Now, oftentimes they would use it on top of a wagon, like you see here, sometimes inside a wagon, as you also see here. Both of these instruments were made by J.C. Deegan of Chicago, Illinois. On top is the saucer bells. Inside the wagon is the Unafon, U-N-A-F-O-N. The one on the top came from the Ringling Winter Quarters buildings. You see, they moved out of Baraboo after 34 years in 1918. But they hung on to all of the buildings because they were loaded with old wardrobe and all kinds of old equipment. Come the Depression, they needed to sell off as many assets as they could so they could keep the circus going. And they opened the doors to the barns and they let anybody from Baraboo come in and take anything they wanted because they were just going to take it out and burn it. So kids in this community had great Halloween costumes during the Depression. One family grabbed that black box and took it home and looked inside and said, I have no idea what this is. But they hung on to it, sold it to our wagon superintendent, and he just restored it and brought it over here. We've had it about a week, so we're going to do a hit for the association. It's called Windy. And there you go. The Unafon is a lot similar, but it uses glockenspiel chimes, and it operates on a 12-volt system. The saucer bells is a 6-volt system. And that's enough technical information. Let's just do The More I See You. Thank you. I'm going to try to wedge myself out of this little wagon. Let's head up to the mezzanine level for another circus instrument that was actually played by a horse. tune sleigh bells. Yeah, they did teach a horse how to play it, so I better behave myself or they're going to get the horse and I'm out of a job. Let's do Summer Samba. Thank you. Next up, tuned bottles. I made this instrument myself, and it was a lot of fun. Here we go with Girl from Ipanema. Thank you. Brings us to the shaker chimes, also a J.C. Deegan instrument. It's copied after an angklung, which is an Indonesian instrument made out of bamboo. J.C. Deegan changed the bamboo chimes to metal chimes, the bottom to hardwood, and we came out with this sound. We'll demonstrate on The Look of Love.